With the Clash in Paris match card officially set, I have had one question on my mind, and that is, what did WWE leave off of Clash in Paris? What is missing from the match card that should have been on the show? Now, you guys may come up with something different. I already have my two selected, and I really think that they're both kind of big things to leave off of a PLE. So the purpose of today's video is we're going to talk about what should have been on the Clash in Paris match card. And before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So again, if you're a WWE fan, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So we're going to jump right in to the one that just absolutely makes zero sense for me, and that is AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. Not having these two have their match for the IC title at Clash in Paris makes zero sense. And instead of having this match take place at Clash in Paris, they elected to go with the Raw episode that is in Paris. And this match, I just really think deserved to be on a PLE. And look, I'm not going to say that the Raw crowd is going to be bad, but a PLE crowd is just completely different to just a standard Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown type of crowd. Now, had this episode of Monday Night Raw be taking place in Lyon, France, the same place that Backlash did, then I'd be a little more understanding about it. But SmackDown is in Lyon, France, and the match is taking place on Monday Night Raw, which we already know. Again, I just feel like this feud has been so good that it deserves to be at Clash in Paris. It deserves to be on a PLE, not just a random episode of Monday Night Raw. I thought everything about this feud has been so freaking good. When you had AJ Styles continuing to stalk Dominic Mysterio, you had their match at SummerSlam with all the callbacks to Eddie Guerrero. It just really stinks that this feud is not going to get a satisfying conclusion on a PLE. Again, I fully anticipate the Monday Night Raw crowd in Paris to be very good and just downright electric. But again, there's just that magical feeling about a good PLE crowd that could take a mediocre match into making it a memorable match. And I'm not saying that this match is going to be mediocre, because we know the match is going to be good. The next one that I have is kind of out of WWE's hands, but that is Stephanie Valkyr not getting a chance to compete for the Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. And again, obviously, this one is kind of out of WWE's hands. Obviously, with Naomi getting pregnant, I'm sure threw a massive wrench into their plans, so they had to kind of pivot on the fly. And I did make a video about what they were going to do now that Naomi had vacated the title, and the one thing that I mentioned was having a battle royale similar to what we saw at Evolution, where we saw Stephanie Valkyr become the #1 contender, which she still is. I understand that they didn't have the time necessarily to maybe put on a #1 contenders tournament or something along those lines, but I feel like you didn't really need to build up a battle royale for this title too much. And according to what Adam Pearce said on Monday Night Raw, it sounds like we're not even going to get a #1 contenders tournament or a battle royal. It sounds like Stephanie Valkyr is just going to have a mystery opponent at a later show, which we're kind of assuming is gonna be WrestlePalooza. Now that would make sense, considering that WrestlePalooza is going to be the first PLE held on ESPN, so WWE is going to want to pull out all the bells and whistles, just like we saw on the Raw Netflix debut. Regardless of who the opponent is, if Stephanie Valkyr is going to be the one who's winning this title, it deserves to be on a PLE. If WWE is serious about having Stephanie Valkyr being on the same levels of an Io Sky, of a Rhea Ripley in terms of popularity, then I think a big step forward would be having her win the title on a PLE. But I would argue that if she were to do this at Clash in Paris, I think it would have made more of an impact than it would at WrestlePalooza or a random episode of Monday Night Raw. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What was left off of the Clash in Paris match card that you feel like should have been on it. And also let me know what you guys think about my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Let me know why you agree or disagree. Again, I have a little more understanding with the Stephanie Valquer situation because everything just got pivoted last minute, but to me, there is just no excuse as to why AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio was not on the Clash in Paris card. So as always, let me know that stuff down below in the comments, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in bio for a reason, and that is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And above all else, I want the X page to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if you are like me and you're looking for a group of wrestling fans to talk about wrestling with, then swing by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. Obviously, we've got Clash in Paris in just a couple days. Join in on the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. And also, one last thing to add on to that is we are officially on TikTok. Over on TikTok, we are going to be posting clips from these videos and just other random wrestling stuff that takes place over on TikTok. So, if you are on TikTok and you come across one of my videos, consider dropping a like, a follow, whatever you can do to help make that page grow. So that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free and both really help out the channels a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.